Hello and welcome to Pandora Tarot once again. These are the readings for the month of October 2016. Welcome everyone. As I always say, remember to check your rising and your moon sign as well as your sun sign, because that will give you a better picture, perhaps even more details as to what is expected of the month of October and the energies that are available to every one of us for this month, okay, this upcoming month of October. Especially, I've said this before, if you are a female or if you were born during the night or even both, the moon can be even more powerful than the sun, okay. I know that from my own experience, but because that's my case. So keeping that in mind, also I want to thank everyone who watches and likes and comments my videos. As I always say, thank you so much for being a part of this community. I really appreciate you watching and sharing, and I read all your comments even if I can't answer all of them, so thank you so much for spending your time with me. Okay, let's move on to the readings for each sign. Welcome back, Libra, to your reading for this month of October. Let's look at the cards we have for this month. We have in the challenge position the Ace of Pentacles. Now you heard me say it before. Ace of Pentacles is a card that represents all the aces represent a new step in a new direction, right? Because it's the number one. In the case of the Ace of Pentacles, this is a card that symbolizes a seed. This is a card that it's a new resource coming into your life, and when it does, you need to treat it as a seed. And in order for it to grow and to give results, this is almost it's a resource that in and out of itself, for itself, it might not have a lot of worth right now at the moment you're going to receive it, the month of October, but it has the potential to increase its value if you actually care for it, if you put attention and you nourish it, as you would treat a seed if you want a plant to grow, right? And this comes up in the challenge position, so this is something you are going to be focusing on. This is going to be in a way the thread that waves itself throughout the entire month. How to use this resource that is coming to you in this month of October so you can have better results, okay? So this resource is something that, and when I say resource, it could be money, as it could be someone else's help, as it could be someone else's advice, or someone lending you their time to explain something to you, or to teach you something, or to introduce you to someone else that can actually help you to achieve something else, okay? So that also applies to nourishing relationships, so eventually you will get something or you will receive and get something out of them, So this resource has to do with a situation that you have been contemplating, and where you feel like you haven't contemplated leaving, because you have in the center of the reading the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is a card that represents moving on. It represents when it is in the upright, of course, it represents moving away from a situation that no longer satisfies us in the emotional way. And when the Eight of Cups shows up, it means that you have tried everything. You have used every single tool that you can possibly use. You have tried every single path to improve this situation, but it hasn't worked out. So you realize it's time to move on. You need to walk away from this. And this is something you have been contemplating in the previous month to October. Now, in the month of October, this resource comes to you and you decide to stay, because when it is in the reverse, there is a sudden improvement of this situation. Perhaps not so sudden, it might not be overnight because you decide to use this resource in a smart way, in an intelligent way. But being in the reverse means that there's a way to fix the situation. There is a way for at least, maybe not to be perfect, but at least to be satisfying to you on an emotional level again. Because the cups is the it has to do with the water, and that has to do with our feelings and our emotions. So it could be also some kind of healing on an emotional level with this resource. Now let's look at what the resource might be. We have two things coming up here. One is in the position of the things you have to accept, the Emperor. The Emperor is the card of someone who could be a father figure, could be a mentor, a boss, someone who has a lot of power to make decisions. Okay, this is someone who is also wise due to experience. Not necessarily it doesn't represent necessarily an old person, the card of the Emperor, but it does represent someone who has fought many battles in his life or her life. It doesn't necessarily have to be a man, but we see him wearing an armor. And he is also someone I associate with the sign of Aries. Okay, so this is someone who knows how to fight. This is someone who has a lot of fiery energy, okay, to move forward. And this is someone who will notice your dissatisfaction in terms of this situation. And even if and this is someone who will approach you, maybe it's a boss, and this is a work situation, and he will approach you and say, what is going on? And even if you say, what, it doesn't really matter, I've decided I'm going to go, I've decided I'm going to quit, or I'm going to move on, or I'm going to find something else. And what the tarot here is saying is that even if you try not to explain your reasons to this person, he or she will actually get in the way, or they will meddle, they will try to fix this. This is why it comes up in the position of things you have to accept, something that will actually happen. Even if you try to hide this, say this is someone from your family, you're having an issue with your family, and this is your father who realized that something is going on. Next to the Emperor we'll have the Nine of Cups in reverse as well, and this is a card that when it is in the reverse, it talks about not being satisfied emotionally, not feeling proud of everything you have achieved, or perhaps feeling like you have not been able to achieve anything with this situation. It's like I've said before, Eight of Cups shows up when you say, I've tried everything I can think of to improve the situation, and yet it hasn't improved. It hasn't given me any results. So the Emperor shows up to help you up in that sense, to help you. It's almost like he uses his fire energy to push you forward, to put more energy into the situation. He steps into this situation to really help you out, okay, whether you want to or not. I feel like since he comes up in the position of things you cannot help, you have to achieve, he will step in and help into the situation whether you want to or not. Okay, now that is one form of resource. Another form of resource is, and this is something that comes in as help, and I think you're going to seek out this help. This is someone who's just going to get in the middle because he realizes what's going on. Now you might seek out the help of another person, represented here by the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, it's someone from your own element, so it could represent another Libra, it could represent an Aquarius or a Gemini. This is someone who is very very honest, okay, and this is why I believe you will seek her out to hear her advice. Doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, but the Queen is someone who has the capacity to tell you what she thinks. It's not, the air people are not very much related to trying to, they don't try to sugarcoat the truth just to make other people like them. They're pretty much straightforward in that sense. And that's what we're looking for. You're looking for a straightforward advice. At the same time, the Queen is a bit more, she's more prone to hear you out more than actually the Emperor. The Queen has a sword on one hand, but the other hand is open. She's open to receive. So she might even be a breach of connection, a breach of a means to having a talk or having some kind of discussion with the source of your problem, the source of your discomfort. So the Queen is someone. She could even be some kind of legal advisor. The sword, it represents in a way justice. The sword also represents someone who has a clear and sharp mind and a sharp way of expressing herself. The sword is a way to cut, through could be lies. She cuts through words, and she can separate what is lies from truth. And the Queen of Swords comes up with the Five of Wands in reverse. Now, the Five of Wands is a group of people that do not get along at all. This is a group of people who they might be very creative, they might be very passionate about what they're doing, but in reality, they're not together to build something. What they're trying to achieve is success and fame and recognition on individual levels, and I think you have been dealing with this for quite some time, and you're finally set with this. That's why I say it could really represent some kind of it's not so much a one-on-one relationship. I feel this has to do more with a group dynamic, okay, for the majority of you, of course, because this is a general reading. But we have this Eight of Wands in reverse, a group of people where it's very easy to spark up a fight, to start to hurt someone else's feelings. There's a lot of ego involved, and this is someone who will cut through all of that with that sword and say, you know what, this is what's going on. This is why you're seeking out this Queen of Swords, because she has a really sound mind. She's not delusional, as the majority of the people in this group are. Okay, this could even be a family dynamic, and you reach out to some kind of counselor. Okay, some kind of therapy counselor, or someone who can be from the outside and be more impartial, because that's another thing, that comes with a sharp and clear mind. And as the final card, you have these two resources, as I said, the Queen of Swords and the Emperor coming in to help you out with this situation. And that's when you realize, maybe I don't need to leave it, I don't need to walk away from this, I can fix it. I believe you will actually start to see some improvement in the month of October that will lead you to decide not to walk away. The final card you have is the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a card that represents acquiring a new perspective upon a subject, and to be able to do that, you have to, in a way, step back. This is a card where the woman has a lot of wealth around her, but she's focusing on the falcon. And the falcon, it is a symbol of flying high and being able to look at the entire picture, right? It's the card of stop focusing on one tree and look at the entire forest. Now, the input of these two people that come as resource into your life, Libra, they will give you a new outlook on the situation. And they will also give you, that also gives you a new perspective for the future. This is a situation that you thought it was lost, okay, and you were ready to just walk away, like I said before. But now this new resource comes into your life, and it really changes the way you are seeing the situation, you are feeling, and the way you are going to relate from now on to the situation. This could even be, since we have the Ace of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles here, this could even be something related to money. Okay, if you are having some kind of struggle in terms of that, this could be people coming in to help you, and to sort this type of situation, maybe. And again, this goes in relation to a job. you're planning on saying, I have a job that I love, but I just can't afford, you know, I there it doesn't pay me enough money to afford everything I have to afford. So maybe you have these two people coming into your life again as a resource, telling you, well, maybe you don't need to do that. Maybe you just need to readjust the way you spend your money, and it is a situation that really applies to a variety of things. The important thing is, like I said before, this is something you thought it was lost. So it is this new resource will allow you to have a new approach and it renews your hope in relationship to this situation. So I hope this is helpful, Libra. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'll see you next month.